What's up, everybody? Old School NYC Gamer here once again at the Classic Gaming Expo 2014, and I have a very special guest right here next to me, and it is one and only Howard Scott Warshaw. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
So, what brings you to CGE this year?
Well, I'm here debuting the Atari Game Over documentary with Microsoft, and of course, I'm a perennial attendee of the Classic Gaming Expo. I showed a trailer of Once Upon Atari, available at onceuponatari.com. And actually now the big news is that that's now available for digital download at gog.com. And it's been a while since I've been to CGE. It's unfortunately the last time I was going to come, it got interrupted because I had a psychopharmacology seminar that I had to attend because I've become a therapist recently. And so I think that was the first time in the history of video games that drugs actually became the reason someone couldn't get to a gaming event. So okay. I'm digging it though.
All right, so yeah, so I mean, like, just like if you want to give a brief history to my viewers out there, like your history with Atari, just programming games. I mean, specifically, you know, a lot of people do know the 3 games that you did do, but have you done any other games for Atari besides those 3?
Well, Saboteur. I did Saboteur, a game that was actually originally going to be released just about when Atari died. It went back and forth between being the 18 license and original game and the 18 license original game, and then Atari died. And for the second flashback system, they actually dug that game up and put it out. So my 4th game actually got released ultimately, which was kind of funny. It took 20 years for that game to get released, but it did get released.
But it shows even like with a lot of rare obscure games that people still want to play on. You know? I mean, and it's fascinating to me, even 30 years down the line, people still talk about specific games, or like the myth, or they say the myth or the legend behind specific games.
Well, classic gaming is classic. You know, it's still into. People are still there. The homebrew market is really a great indicator. The fact that people are actually still making 2,600 games, pretty remarkable. The machine has a life that I don't think anybody who created it ever would have imagined.
Yeah, I mean, watching the documentary myself, when you were playing the fixed version of the game, you know, from beginning to end, I mean, how did you feel vindicated, you know, yourself fully to play it the way it really should have been? Well,
I know playing that game, you know, the way it should have been is hard to say, but I think playing that game, I don't know if that was vindicating. I think having people recognize a lot of the other stuff that I had done and take the focus off of just the fact that I did E.T. on top of some of the innovative steps that I had done and a lot of the other things around it, that was very vindicating. To hear my peers and stuff really appreciate the work that it was in the context that it was done. You know, I'll put E.T. up against any other 5-week game, no question. I don't think there are any other 5-week games.
I honestly don't think there are.
So that's the thing, is for fans, it doesn't really matter. Fans don't need to know what went into a game. They only care what comes out of a game. And E.T. had problems as a game, so I totally understand that. But I think it was still quite a production, and to hear it appreciated and have people get what was really trying to happen with it, yeah, that meant a lot to me. It really did.
Well, again, you're mentioning about with the homebrew community, even Ed Freeze actually did Halo 2600, I believe, a couple of years ago. Do you possibly see yourself maybe throwing an idea out for an Atari 2600 homebrew down the line?
Well, I have some ideas for Atari homebrews, including a Yard's Revenge sequel. That I've had that design floating around in my head for many, many years. I originally was thinking of it at Atari and got distracted by other projects, and then ultimately the closure of the company. But I got some projects, and I've actually talked to 1 or 2 companies or people about directing a project like that and seeing that through. So you never know. There could always be something in the pipes.
Even a new comic book as well, because I know, like, when I got it, I got the comic book when it came out with it, and it kind of left you hanging there, but you wanted to know more.
Well, we would definitely elaborate on the story if we're going to do that. Of course, getting the rights to yours would be a tricky thing to do, but it might be like the Rays or something like that. You never know.
Exactly. Alrighty, so like I said, well, thank you very much for your time. You know,
well, it was great to be here. Really appreciate it.
You know, like I said, hey everybody. So if you want to know more about this gentleman right here, I actually will be putting up some of what he had to say here during this weekend's Classic Gaming Expo. And if you have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to leave them down at the bottom. And as always, you can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and DailyMotion. And that's about it. Have a good one, everybody, and take care. Cheers.